Hello guys, I am back from another video, and today was about what if Deku never got one for all. So in the last video we talked about how during his time basically looking for some information about heroes, he would decide to maybe get some information about Bakugo to maybe ruin his hero career as well. So after a while of basically looking around on the internet, apparently the League of Villains are planning on maybe, I don't know, maybe like, basically causing some chaos in the UA Sports Festival. Basically sending it on the, dark web, which Izuku usually uses to get some information, in this case dirt, on some heroes. So, after telling this to Stain, they would start going towards that, to the actual sports festival as they go into the Coliseum without being noticed. So, after going into the Coliseum and seeing Bakugo being a complete asshole, he would be really pissed, but he would restrain himself because he's gonna do it in a more subtle way. What do I mean by this? He's gonna punish and make Bakugo's life a living hell soon. Wait for a second. Soon enough. And when he does, he's gonna love it. And then the villains arrive, basically attacking everybody, and a certain, handyman over there decided to hurt Mirko, which Izuku saved. So after saving her, he would basically heal her as he accidentally falls on her and basically kisses her in the lips. Let's just say Mount Lady and also a girl in the side, aka, Mei Hatsume, basically looking in the distance. Wait for a second. A girl was watching in the distance, specifically Mei Hatsume, which she was also jealous of. Because if I told you in the last explanation about last episode, I think so, she was saved by Izuku, aka Kokolen. So after basically just bodying Shigaraki and also some of the heroes, and also basically just severing the legs of Shigaraki, he would basically leave as he would go back onto his, information gathering, and we left off by going to the perspective of, Mirko, which she was pissed after getting kissed by him, and wanting revenge no matter what. So, yeah. So, that is basically what happened last episode, and so, let's talk about what next. So, we moved to Izuku basically working out at the gym as a news broadcast happens on one of the TVs in the gym. Apparently, the news says that apparently a certain number 2 hero got injured so badly by the hero killer. And everybody's watching this as they hear that apparently the truth is basically gone out. What do I mean by this? Well, the truth about Mr. Asshole over there, aka Endeavor, basically being an asshole, which, what do I mean by this? Well, basically his, wife, and abusing her, causing her to basically go insane and hurt her and his, son. And not only that, he also had, supposedly, and not supposedly, but it's actually true, several affairs to make perfect children. And let's just say the media doesn't like that. Apparently the informant was mysterious enough to not get noticed, but apparently the person that got the, information about Mr. Endeavor's, whereabouts, and also, basically being an asshole, was a man with a pretty long tongue. So yeah, let's just say Endeavor is now no longer allowed to become a hero, thanks to the Hero Commission learning about this. So yeah, they're basically just saving themselves. Izuku does know about the Hero Commission being assholes as well, which he's also another target. So, Izuku's planning on targeting them next, and then, after that, he's planning on going for Bakugo. He already got the information from them, being Mr. Hatsume, which, if you don't remember, he's an information broker. So, after getting the information, which he got from his classmates, which apparently they were pretty soft, basically bullying Izuku to death. or at least supposedly, they think that he's dead. So yeah, and the lackeys, let's just say, when he told them about, basically being bullied by his lackeys, aka Baku's lackeys, apparently he decided to do an ultimatum. What am I mean by this? Well, apparently he decided to bring in a certain assassin to basically murder them and show all of their content to every single one of their family members. Not only that, to their own freaking teachers and things like that. And they basically disowned them, and yeah, let's just say the funeral was even the funeral's more like the celebration than anything else. So yeah, let's just say, and also for UA, let's just say everybody is starting to hate UA for basically causing all of this trouble. After that little incident in the USJ, it was pretty much a red flag. And because of the villain's attack in the, sports festival, that's even more of a red flag. So yeah. So, Izuku was still working out, hearing about all of this on the news, as he would get approached by one of these, people that are also going at the gym. In this case, Mirko. As Mirko would say this, hey, you. As Izuku would say this, can you at least just say my name, or or at least, do you even remember my name? As she would say this, whatever, just come here. As she would basically bring him into a private area. And as for, Mount Lady, she would basically have this, how do I say this? This, almost smug smile as she would start going towards that area with them, basically watching in the shadows. As Mirko would explain what happened at the, wait for a sec, explain everything about the, UA Sports Festival's incident, as when Izuku hears this, he would say this nonchalantly. Oh, I heard it from the news. As she would say this, so, yeah, she would kind of sigh as she would say this. Hey, it's nothing personal, but, can you, as she sort of blushes a little bit, as she would say this. Can you go out with me or whatever? As when Izuku hears this, he would just what? As Mount Lady would be in the, back, as she would say this. What? As she would say this. You heard me, I want you to date me, or whatever. As Izuku would just say this. What day exactly? As she would say this. I don't know, maybe you pick it. As he would say this. Sure. Izuku was not even prepared for this. As she would say this. I guess I should leave. See ya, I guess. As she would start leaving, as she would go back to her own business. And as for Izuku would just go what the fuck just happened? So yeah, apparently now he's gonna be dating the number, wait for a second. Apparently he's gonna be dating the number 6 hero, which when Mr. over there, aka Stain, hears this, he would say this. So you're finally having a date, eh? As he would say this. Oh, shut up, Stain. And how the hell did it actually happen? And why did she even like me in the first place? As he would say this. I don't know, but you're pretty lucky. I heard that most of the guys are afraid of, getting close to her. And apparently one guy tried to, that type of thing. As he would say this. Do you mean, as he would say this. Yeah, pretty much. And got his, as he would start pointing at his groin and basically does a twisting motion with his hands. As Izuku would just go Jesus fucking Christ. As he would say this. Yeah, you're lucky. And I heard that she's quite beautiful. Isn't that right? As Izuku would just say this. Oh, shut up. And as he would say this, being, Stain. Oh, I also heard that during your little, confrontation in the UA Sports Festival, you accidentally kissed her, right? As he would say this. It was on accident, for God's sake. As he would say this. Yeah, sure. As Izuku would start blushing a little bit, and it was his first time it's his first time blushing ever since he basically came out of Ireland. And he's never blushed that much before at all. As he would say this. Whatever. As he would say this. So, what do you think about the news? As not Bell, I meant Izuku would say this. Oh, that? That was great. He would give out that smile. This almost vindictive, but also this seductive smile. But not in, that way. Wait for a second. But as in the almost really excited what is gonna happen next way. As he would say this. Just imagine. Just imagine Mr. Endeavor's life right now. As he would say this. Yeah, I heard that he never came out of his house ever since that little incident happened. And also, after I heard, or at least saw that Mr. Endeavor's now never liked during his time basically getting out. Let's just say, oh boy, I was excited. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, that guy got what he deserves. After all, I hate people like that. As he would say this. Anyway, so are you planning on your little date? As Izuku would say this. Oh, shut up! As he would say this. Maybe try to wear something simple. Maybe like a suit. Or maybe just your, that. As he would point at a leather jacket, jeans, and a white polo shirt. He also seems to have gloves for some reason, as he would say this. That. It kind of works for you, after all. Her vibe. As he would say this. Her vibe? Are you talking about Mirko? As he would say this. Yeah, I think she's more of the tomboyish type. And I guess she would definitely love a boy like that. Or maybe you can probably wear a skirt because, as Belle would say this. Why you? As he would grab his, spear, as he would throw it at him. As he would dodge, as he would say this. I'm pretty fast with my reflexes, but that was pretty close. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, you're lucky. As he would summon back his spear. As he would say this. Anyway, I should be leaving. As he would say this. So you're planning on going to that hostess city or something like that? As he would say this. Yeah. I'm gonna be planning on taking down this other hero. He calls himself, Captain Celebrity or something like that. Apparently he's an American hero. That bastard. As you would say this. I heard. Apparently he's being told that he's no longer allowed to become a hero thanks to his certain incident. As they would, go into a little bit of a flashback. Not literally a flashback, but more of an explanation. Apparently, Captain, Celebrity is a, hero that was in the top 10 of the heroes of, America. And apparently, in the US, he apparently had several affairs. Not only that, he even cheated and even murdered some villains. And apparently he even threatened some, quirkless people and weaker quirked users to basically shut up about, his whole, ordeal. And after they known about it, they were told, or at least he was told, to never come back to America until he was reformed. And now, he's doing the same thing again, but except in, Japan. And Izuku and Mr., wait for a second. Both Stain and Izuku are planning. As Stain would say this. So, are you going to be joining me in taking down this so-called of a hero? As he would say this. Obviously, yes. I want to see him suffer for all he done. I want to see him bleed. I want to see despair. As his eyes would start glowing this almost reddish purple color, as he would say this. Good. So what time? As he would say this. I don't have any training today, so maybe tomorrow. As he would say this. Very well then. So, after that day, it's basically the next day, where Izuku is basically packing up all of his things to go to Hosu with Mr. Stain. As they start moving out, as he would lock his, apartment and basically leaves. So, when they got to Hosu City, they decided to go into, a little, apartment complex. Or in this case, an abandoned one. Apparently nobody lives there because it's supposedly haunted. Supposedly haunted, I meant. So, after they sat down, they started talking about what they're gonna do. As Izuku would say this. Maybe we should try and make him feel despair. But I'm going to be telling my information broker about everything that he's been doing now in Japan. As he would say this. Okay, guess I'll wait for you then. So, after Bell I meant Izuku, god damn it. Now I'm starting to confuse them with, Bell. Now it's basically just like the opposite. Instead of calling Izuku, or not Izuku, I meant calling Bell Izuku, it's the reverse, thanks. Duh. So, Izuku would basically call up his informations broker, aka Mr. Hatsume, as he would bring up everything that he has done in Japan since, today. As apparently he's been doing a lot, including those things that I told about, in his explanation. But not only that, apparently he's been dealing with some quote-unquote villains to maybe stage that he's basically saving people. So, when Izuku heard that, he would start smile, saying to himself, now this is gonna be fun. So, after that, they started going at night. At night, they started going through the city, finding and trying to, locate where Captain the Celebrity is. As they see Captain Celebrity basically being an asshole once again. As Izuku would wear some civilian clothing to maybe pretend to be a civilian getting captured by Mr. Wait for a second. By Mr. Stain. As when Izuku goes into position, Stain would bring out this knife to pretend that he's basically threatening him. As he'd scream out, somebody, help! As Captain Celebrity would basically arrive, seeing Izuku getting himself, or at least, quote-unquote, getting himself killed. As he would say this, don't worry, kid, because I, Captain Celebrity, will save you. And by the way, maybe bring out your phone to maybe, show off my heroic deeds. As you give off this almost narcissistic smile, as you would start charging in at, Stain to try and fight him. Stain would start fighting him as Izuku would say this, sure, guess I'll bring out my phone. As he brings out, instead of his phone, Gaibolga. As when Captain Celebrity basically, standing over, Stain, he would get a surprise attack by Izuku. Wait for a second. He would get stabbed right in the chest as several spikes would come out of each of his veins. Literally, turning him into a fleshy thorn bush. As Izuku would say this, Kaibolg! As the spikes basically extend, basically stabbing him once again, as he would scream out in pain, as Izuku would throw him against the wall, as he would start stabbing him multiple times, as Izuku would say this, scum like you should never be heroes, as he would stab him right in the head, killing him in an instant. As he would walk towards Stain, as he would help him up by basically holding out his hand. Stain would grab it as he would say this. Good. So let's bring in that information broker information now. as you would say this. Oh, already ahead of you, as you would get a USB from his pocket and put it where the body, or at least the body of like Mr. Captain celebrity is, as he would bring out a piece of like his blood to basically scroll upon the wall, saying sinner. So before they're basically getting out of there from that little like site, he would get approached by another woman, or at least another person. This time it's another woman, and this woman seems to be wearing a weird ass outfit. Let me explain what it looks like. She seems to have blonde hair and pinkish eyes. She seems to have a crown upon her head and a something. It seems to be like a actually I don't know what is the name of that like instrument, but it's basically what Orpheus from Persona 5 uses. If you don't know who's Orpheus, well, search him up. That's basically what he's basically wielding. So, she also seems to be wearing a white and red dress, and behind her is a mechanical bull, as she would say this. So, you're another one of the chosen. As Izuku and also, well, Stain would basically encounter her, as Stain would say this. Are you another one of those fake heroes? As she would say this. No, I am no hero. I'm only here for one thing. And you seem to have defeated him already. As Izuku would say this. You're talking about Captain Celebrity, right? As she would say this. Yeah. So I don't need to do with this. So, unfortunately, I don't really need to do anything right now, so I should be leaving. As Izuku would say this. What do you mean by the chosen, by the way? As she would say this. Well, isn't it obvious? You're fused with one of those. An heroic spirit, just like me. As he would say this. So you're telling me that you're... As she would start leaving, as she would say this. Do not bother me, or you will die. As Izuku would say this. Well, guess it's time for me to have some fun. I've been looking for a good fight anyway. As he would bring out the spear and starts charging towards her, as something would block his way. The bull would start transforming into something. It looks like a gigantic black giant made from metal. It looks like a mech. As she would say this. Very well then. As she would say this. Talos. Fire. As the giant would be super noticeable, as several heroes were alerted. Izuku and Stain would start escaping, as this giant would shoot out a blast of flames, burning the entire area, causing magma to basically explode thanks to it. As Izuku would say this. The hell? What the hell is she? As one of them specifically, Stain would say this. I don't know, but whatever she is, she's probably stronger than you. And what she said, you being a chosen? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I meant Izuku, goddammit. Oh no, this is gonna be a problem, no, god. Anyway, so, Izuku would say this. Well, there's no time. We should probably get away immediately. As she would say this. Not even a problem. Let's go, Talos. As this bull would start transforming back into a bull, as heroes would arrive to basically try and capture her. As she would say this. Unworthy. As she would ring this instrument, she would basically hold it as she starts playing it. As several things would basically appear, basically wrapping them up and slicing them almost like Doflamingo from like One Piece, where he uses his like string fruit to basically like all of his enemies. That's basically what she's using. As she would say this. Weak. All of you are weak. You called me weak. You called me weak once before. But now I'm stronger than any quirk user. And I'm quirkless. I should be leaving now. After all, these so-called heroes are disturbing me. Let's go. As a person behind her would say this. It was boring, and thankfully that Cucullin guy decided to help us. Or at least, just took our job away from us. But, either way, at least I don't need to waste my time with that bastard. As a man would appear, this man would resemble like this, or look like this. He seems to wear a suit and a cape that has this almost butterfly motif. What do I mean by this? Well, this butterfly motif, mostly blue, and he also seems to be wielding some sort of coffin, which opens up to reveal that it's a gun, as he would say this. Let's go, Miss Europa, as this woman would say. Very well, Archer, as he would say this. I don't really want to call myself an archer, but I guess you can just call me Moriarty. As he bows, as they start leaving this smoldering town now. This place is now basically smoldering with fire and molten, well, objects. And the heroes would notice this as they would report on this to the Hero Commission, including the leader of the Hero Commission, which she's quite concerned. So, and as for Izuku and Stain, they would go back to their apartment as they would say this. Whatever that girl is, she's definitely just like you, but even more stronger. Thanks to that thing. As Izuku would say this. Apparently she called it Talos. Whatever that means. She's definitely similar to me. That would mean she was trained by another great mythological or something. As he would say this. Yeah, we should probably rest for now. After all, we really need to rest. That blow from Captain Celebrity, it hurts. It hurts like hell. As Izuku would see that his, lower half seems to be kind of like broken, as he would bring out several healing rooms to heal him up. So after doing that, Izuku would tell him to go to sleep while he basically stays up to look at the balcony, basically looking up at the stars. As he would say this. So there really are others just like me. This is definitely gonna be hell. Hell. Absolute fucking hell. As he would just look at his side, as he would see just nothing. As he would remember Cucullin helping him alongside Skahawk, as he would say this. I really miss you guys. I should probably get some sleep. That battle was hell. Especially from that Queen Europa girl. I mean, whatever. So, just forget that part when I said Queen Europa. He doesn't really know that actually her true name. So yeah. So he would basically go onto the ground, grabbing a piece of like a pillow. Not really a pillow, but more like just a pillow, like, actually I don't know what to actually call it, covered in like a blanket, as he would basically fall asleep. So yeah, that's basically what happened last episode. Or at least this episode, not the last episode. Anyway. I kind of feel kind of fried because, I was doing a bit of my, my school. So I kind of feel a bit fried in the brain, so that is why I kind of sounded a bit erratic. Sorry about that. But don't worry, I'm not gonna act like that in the next episode or whatever. So yeah, so that is basically what happened in this episode. So this is going to be the end. So I hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye!